Today I'm going to talk about what most musicians get wrong about marketing. I'm Keith from No Label, No Producer, NoLimits.com, where we help independent musicians. Right now the power is out at my place, but I thought I would take this time, and I just clipped my phone to a chair, and I'm recording this on my phone in front of a window so you can see me. Now I'm seeing a lot of people buy ads on Facebook to get traffic over to Spotify to get streams. And sometimes this can work, but in general, it's not a good strategy, and I will tell you why. ROI, return on investment. You cannot get ads on Facebook for cheap enough to pay for a Spotify stream. You can't. If somebody knows how to do it, prove it. Now, most of us are familiar with playing for exposure bucks. That's when the local restaurant owner says, hey, come down and play my restaurant on Friday night. There'll be a lot of people there. Maybe some of them will like your music, and maybe you'll get some benefit from it. And there's a meme going around where a guy answers that and says, sure, why don't you just come by and cater my party, and there will be a lot of people there, and maybe some people will visit your restaurant. Now, obviously, your typical restaurant owner wouldn't do that. He'd say, well, it costs me time and money, and I have to hire staff. And well, you would say the same thing as a musician. I can't haul all my gear down to your restaurant for free on the idea that I'm going to get some mythical exposure out of it. It's just stupid. This can work as a strategy. For instance, you could have a merch table in the back. Maybe you'll sell a few CDs or t-shirts. Maybe you'll get people to sign up on your email list, and this can be profitable and perhaps worth your while. But it's only those cases where you have some sort of chance of making an ROI. You should have a plan. If your marketing plan doesn't include a return on investment, making your money back or more, you have to ask yourself, why are you doing it? And let me answer that question, because you don't have to ask yourself that question. The reason you're doing it is vanity. It's cool to show a high Spotify playlist count. I have a video right now I'm paying to put it on Facebook, and it's approaching 200,000 people reached. Now, those aren't Macklemore numbers, but I think it's pretty cool. Now, with no plan to monetize that, with no plan to turn some of those people into fans who might buy CDs or t-shirts or merch from me or book me for a show, that's just vanity. It's just vanity. Exposure is only worth what it brings you back. Would you do the Super Bowl for exposure? Sure, you might. That's shown numbers. You can look at the history of Super Bowl performers and what it did to their album sales afterwards. Yes, you can tie that back to money. Now, it's about sustainability to me. So how often can you do an ad that costs you $1,000 and doesn't make you any money back? Can you do that every week, every month for exposure? Now, how often can you run an ad that costs you $1,000 and brings you $1,001 back? You can continue to run and scale that ad and make yourself bigger and bigger and bigger. And eventually, you have a fan base, and you could sell them your next CD. Now, the mathematics of Spotify and Facebook really mean that you cannot get a stream from Spotify for what you pay for the ad for Facebook. However, let's suppose you want to book a gig at a festival, and the festival promoter wants to see that you have a certain number of streams on Spotify. Okay, as long as you're not playing the festival for exposure, you're good to go. So there are cases in which you might want to drive traffic to Spotify by paying for ads and lose a little bit of money in order to do something else. But if you don't have a plan, if you're just doing it for exposure, it's no good. If you're doing it because you want to get on better playlists, and the better playlists mean more streams, and more streams mean more income, well, you should run the numbers and check to see if that's really going to work. You're probably not going to make half a cent a stream. So if it costs you 5 cents for every person that you send over to Spotify, well, they better play a whole bunch of your music over and over again, or you're going to lose money. So you have to run the numbers and look at if it's feasible. I got to tell you a story. So years ago, I had a business that shipped physical products, books and CDs and DVDs. I used a warehouse that was called iFulfill in Ohio. I would ship them my products in bulk, and they would store them. And when I had an order, I'd send them an email, and they would ship the products out. One day, iFulfill sent me a message. They said, I think it was Monday morning, and they said, hey, we're out of business. And sorry, any orders that came in after Thursday won't be shipped. Also, we don't know how we're going to get you your stuff back, but we're trying to work it out. So there I was. I had a few $1,000s worth of inventory sitting in a warehouse. No products sitting around to ship out. No way I could take orders from people who I couldn't ship them the product. I was effectively out of business because a business went out of business. And sometimes businesses just change the way they operate. Amazon recently cut their affiliate commission for affiliates. Why? Because they could. If you're an affiliate for Amazon, if you were a customer for iFulfill, you're screwed because they have the power. Facebook, Spotify, Google, they have all the power over you unless you take control of what you can do. So if you have Facebook ads, you better be driving them to where you can collect their contact information. You can't collect contact information from Spotify. How are you going to follow up with somebody that goes over to Spotify to listen to your music? You can't. So here's what you need to do. If you're going to run traffic, paid traffic, to someplace like Spotify, have a plan in place for how you're going to get your money back or more, or don't do it. In general, your efforts should be aimed at doing things that will get customers, potential fans, contact info to you in a way that you control. So if your email list provider or your website host or whoever, if whoever goes out of business, you've still got your customer, your fan list, and you can still do business. Anyway, I went kind of off track there. What I meant to say was, don't do advertising to anywhere unless you have a specific plan about how you're going to generate income back from that ad. And control as much as you can of your potential fans and potential customers' contact information. Okay, that's it for now. I'm Keith. Visit No Label, No Producer, No Limits.com for more information on how to help yourself as a music industry independent. It's marketing help, production help, and inner game help. How to think about music in a way that helps you reach your goals. See you soon. Bye-bye now.